Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling confused, unsettled, or unsure of what just happened, even though you knew what you heard or experienced? If that happens to you a lot, it may not be because you're sensitive or overthinking. It may be because you were trained very early on to doubt your own perception. Today I want to talk about 3 signs that this might be happening and why none of them mean there's anything wrong with you. This isn't about diagnosing anyone. It's about recognizing patterns, especially patterns that come from family systems, schools, or environments where questioning authority wasn't safe. When those patterns get internalized, they don't disappear once we grow up. They follow us into relationships, workplaces, and even our inner dialogue. Sign number 1. You instinctively second-guess your memory. This is one of the most common signs. You remember something clearly, a conversation, an event, a promise. But the moment someone questions it, you start thinking, well, maybe I'm remembering it wrong. Maybe I misunderstood. Even before there's real evidence to doubt yourself, you feel the need to qualify your memory. That doesn't come from being forgetful. It comes from learning that your version of events was often corrected, minimized, or overwritten by someone else's. Over time, your brain learns certainty isn't safe. Sign number 2. You over-explain, even when you don't need to. If you find yourself constantly explaining your reasoning, adding context, justifying your feelings, building a case for something simple, this is a big clue. You might notice yourself doing this even with people who aren't challenging you. Why? Because at some point, being understood became a form of self-protection. You learned that if you didn't explain enough, you'd be misunderstood, dismissed, or blamed. So you preemptively do the work, even when it costs you energy and clarity. This isn't a communication flaw. It's a survival adaptation. Sign number 3. You feel calmer when someone else confirms what you already knew. This one is subtle and very telling. You feel relief when someone agrees with your interpretation, an outside authority confirms your experience, a therapist, a book, or expert names something you already sensed. That relief isn't because you were unsure. It's because you weren't allowed to be sure on your own. When your perception was routinely questioned or invalidated, certainty had to come from outside of you. The calm you feel isn't dependence. It's your nervous system finally feeling safe. It's important to reframe it. None of these signs mean you're broken. They mean you adapted. When you grow up in environments where reality is negotiable, where authority figures define the truth, your mind learns flexibility instead of confidence. That flexibility helped you survive. But later in life, it can turn into self-doubt. Recognizing the pattern is the beginning of reclaiming trust in yourself. In closing, if any of this resonated, you're not alone and you're not imagining things. Learning to trust your own perception again is a process. It doesn't happen all at once, but it begins with naming what's been happening. If you'd like more conversation like this about patterns, clarity, and finding your way back to yourself, You're very welcome here. And thank you for your time and your interest. Have a great day.